Across the vast sun-baked landscapes of the Sahel, a seismic shift in power is on the way. A new political order is emerging, not from the ballot box, but from the barracks. Military leaders are not just holding power, they are actively, aggressively reshaping their nations' destinies and crucially often extending their mandates beyond initial promises. In Mali, the transitional period under General Assimi Goïta has been prolonged, sparking debate and international scrutiny. But the burning question remains, is Goïta looking eastward across the border to Burkina Faso's Captain Ibrahim Traore for a powerful blueprint, an exemplary model for this brand new of African leadership? Today we dive straight into the fascinating dynamic. We will introduce to you, of course, these two pivotal figures, General Assimi Goïta of Mali, who rose through a swift coup in 2020 and solidified his power in 2021, and Captain Ibrahim Traore of Burkina Faso, who took the helm in September 2022. Both, now heads of state, are charting a course of bold nationalism and defiance. This video will explore precisely why Captain Traore is increasingly seen as a guiding, even exemplary figure for General Goïta, particularly in the context of extended military rule and as well a radical vision for West African sovereignty. Let's first understand the crucial context in Mali. General Assimi Goïta's ascent became amidst widespread discontent with civilian governance, leading to the military takeovers of August 2022 and of course May 2021. He initially vowed to return the country to civilian rule within a specific time period or time frame, setting expectations required for a swift transition. However, what was meant to be a swift transition has actually become a prolonged tenure. Originally, Mali's return to democratic rule was slated for March 2024 last year, with elections planned for February of that same year. Yet, citing a litany of compelling reasons from a complex to ongoing need for a constitution or a new constitution to the extensive preparations for a national consensus, and critically the persistent overwhelming security challenges, these deadlines have been repeatedly pushed back. This has effectively and indefinitely extended General Goïta's rule without a clear endpoint on the horizon. Malian officials vociferously argue that this extension is not a power grab but a pragmatic necessity. They contend that ensuring nationwide security, implementing fundamental and transformative reforms, and achieving genuine national reconciliation must take absolute precedence over what they perceive as rushed elections that could further destabilize an already fragile nation. They frequently cite the relentless, brutal fight against jihadist groups, in particular regions like Mopti and Gao, as the paramount priority, unequivocally demanding sustained military leadership at the helm. While the international community, particularly regional bodies like ECOWAS, initially reacted with firm sanctions and criticisms, initially a significant segment of the Malian population is wary of years of insecurity, corruption, and political instability. That has as well shown a surprising degree of support for Goïta's prolonged leadership. For many, stability even under military rule is preferred over continued chaos, seeing the military as the only force capable of delivering on security. How is that true? Now let's pivot to Burkina Faso, where Captain Ibrahim Traore has emerged not just as a national leader, but as a potential architect for a new regional order. His actions since late 2022 offers a compelling and for some an inspiring blueprint for General Goïta. Traore's first and arguably most defining characteristics is his unyielding assertion of sovereignty, coupled with a dramatic rejection of national or traditional Western alliances and also a perceived external influence. His government famously made deadlines when it categorically rejected a substantial $400 million loan package from the International Monetary Fund (IMF) last year, with Traore himself asserting that Burkina Faso would develop on its terms, free from what he claimed imposed conditionalities. This was not an isolated incident. It perfectly echoed his earlier momentous decision to completely withdraw Burkina Faso from ECOWAS, publicly accusing the bloc of being a threat under undue foreign influence. His message was clear: Burkina Faso would no longer be dictated to, signaling the new era of absolute national self-determination. This is where the direct influence on Mali becomes undeniable. Mali under Goïta had already bravely initiated this pivot, notably by expelling the French Bagnan forces and actively aligning with new security partners. Traore's even more forceful, public and swift stance against traditional partners provides a robust, consistent regional examples. His actions not only validate Goïta's Mali's first approach to foreign policy and security partnerships, but also actively embodies it, forging a united front for a new era of unapologetically sovereignty in the Sahel. Traore's vision extends deeply into the economic realm, championing an aggressive economic nationalism centered on reclaiming national resources for national benefits. His government has, however, moved decisively to nationalize two major gold mines, ensuring that the immense profits generated from these crucial assets remain within Burkina Faso's borders. Going a step further, he personally inaugurated a state-of-the-art national gold refinery in Ouagadougou, the capital, projected to process an outstanding 150 tons annually. This isn't just about revenue. It is a powerful declaration against what many perceive as historical foreign exploitation of African resources, aiming to indirectly or directly empower the Burkinabe people through their own wealth. This is a direct, actionable template for Mali. With its own significant gold reserves, Mali, or Goïta's administration, has also expressed clear desires for greater control over its natural wealth, seeking to maximize national benefits. Traore's audacious move provides a concrete, successful model for how a military government can leverage its own natural resources to find its own agenda, drastically reducing reliance on external aid and, by extension, external influence. It is a powerful lesson in charting a path towards true economic self-sufficiency. For both nations, security is not just a priority, it is seen as the fundamental precondition for any development. Traore's leadership is defined by an uncompromising, relentless pursuit of counter-terrorism operations, often sidelining traditional democratic processes in the name of national survival. Captain Traore has placed the fight against terrorism above any other thing else, making fervent, direct appeals to citizens to join the Voluntary Defense Volunteers (VDPs) and actively participate in the national defense. His government recently announced the recapture of several strategic localities and the successful prevention of a significant coup attempt in April 2025, that's this year, signaling an absolute firm grip on both external and internal security threats. For his supporters, this unwavering commitment is the undeniable key to restoring stability and peace in the West African nation. Just like Burkina Faso, Mali's most pressing and existential issue is pervasive insecurity. Traore's relentless focus on military solutions, coupled with his government's consistent claims of successes in his field, offers a potent narrative that could profoundly bolster Goïta's legitimacy among a Malian population desperate for peace. It suggests that a decisive, firm military hand, unburdened by electoral cycles, is not just a solution, but perhaps the only effective solution to their shared jihadist threat. Beyond military might, both leaders recognize the critical importance of cultivating deep popular support and fostering an unwavering sense of national unity to legitimize their rule. So we will say that Traore has proven exceptionally adept to this. Currently addresses the youth directly, appealing to a profound sense of Burkinabe pride, self-reliance, and national dignity. These decisive actions, such as the dissolution of his government in December 2024 to usher in a new dynamic, and as well the pardoning of 21 ex-military officials linked to this 2015 coup attempt, were exceptionally... His decisive actions, such as the dissolution of his government in December 2024 to usher in a new dynamic, and the pardoning of 21 ex-military officers linked to the 2015 coup attempt, were expertly presented as move to streamline governance and foster national unity against common enemies. These gestures resonate deeply with the populace yearning for strong, unified leadership in times of crisis. General Goïta also keenly understands the crucial need to cultivate a strong nationalistic sentiment and broad public approval. Traore's populist style, his direct and often charismatic communication, his decisive and sometimes dramatic actions, and his consistent emphasis on rallying the populace around shared national goals provide a well-tested playbook for maintaining public favor and consolidating power in a challenging, non-democratic political landscape. Perhaps the clearest and most tangible demonstration of Captain Ibrahim's influence on General Goïta, and indeed the entire region, is the birth of the Alliance of Sahel States, or acronym AES. This groundbreaking pact, formed by Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger, is not merely a security agreement. It is a profound statement of a new geopolitical alignment and a shared destiny. Explicitly including a mutual defense clause, the AES signifies a deliberate and decisive move away from ECOWAS and traditional Western partners. It is a bold collective declaration of African solutions to African problems, particularly when it comes to regional security against terrorism, but also extending to economic and diplomatic independence. This shared ideology and joint initiative underscores a powerful, unified vision for the Sahel's future, and one that Captain Ibrahim Traore has been undeniably instrumental in shaping and solidifying.